6 o'clock. And I'll ask Sharon with the invocation. I'll have a pledge to flag, please rise.
Bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come at this time to give you thanks for your guidance and for your protection throughout this day. We ask again, Lord, for your guidance as we review the matters at hand. We thank you for the families that are represented here. We ask that you protect them and stay with them as they travel back to their homes. And we will forever be grateful to you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have 7 items on the agenda, and so we're going to be moving through those. First, a few ground rules, which I found to be important to the process.
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
I hate electronics.
That was all of us.
That was a perfect response. I love that.
Did you get it?
No, I still didn't turn on.
Somebody's always listening.
It's been that kind of day, really.
All
I
right,
don't know what you mean by.
Okay. I'll just leave it for a couple of calls.
you just never know who's listening to you. You know, we've always got to be on the good side. Next order of business is reading of the minutes and approval.
I'll make a motion that they are approved as written.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous, thank you. Now, before we get into the full agenda, since we got Syria under control, so we're no different than any of you guys, except for we're sitting here and y'all are sitting there. Somebody determined that we were a good group of folks to hear what requests are being made, and that's what we're going to do tonight. Wes will make a recommendation. We'll ask Wes questions if we need to. We'll then hear from the applicant, who will add to whatever Wes has had to say. And then we'll hear from anyone who has a different or supporting opinion or differing opinion. We'll make a recommendation, and that recommendation will go to the commissioners, and they will make the ultimate determination. Typically, that's the following night. Sometimes people get excited. We've had excitement here in the past. And so I want everybody to take a deep breath. It's all going to be okay. Sound arguments do better than people getting exercised about things. And everyone has a right to be here. Everyone has a right to speak within the limitations of the time that we're going to allocate. And we just want everybody to be respectful. We might disagree, we might not. But at the end of the day, you know, we're all Pickens County folks, and we want to remember that. We have, on our first item, we have looks like five people who have asked to speak regarding it, other than the applicant. And so we're gonna we'll allow 10 minutes. So that would mean 5 people have 2 minutes apiece. Nicole is the gatekeeper of time. And she's a lot tougher than I am. So if the 5 people have a consensus of someone that they want to make all of their arguments, they can do that. If the 5 people want to speak independently, they can do that. But we'll hold everybody to the maximum of 10 minutes, and that way we can move along. So, that being said, the first item that comes before us is RZ 190286. And I asked Wes to give the county's review of that and recommendation. Wes?
Okay, that's RZ 22-190286. The applicant is Trueview Tony Nguyen, 29 North Main Street, Jasper, Georgia 30143. The agent is Mr. John J. Capo, attorney at law. Location is 1.02 acres located on Partain Road in Marble Hill. The rezoning is from rural residential to highway business. The parcel is 049081002. The proposed use is changing the zoning to highway business to meet the existing use of the existing building business located on the property in Pickens County Tax C3 commercial. Now the storage units are already in place on this. It was non-conforming zoning. I just want to make sure y'all understood that. It's a residentially developed mini warehouse storage facility. The lot size is 1.02 acres. The road access is Partain Road and Highway 53 East. Go to the tax map, please. Okay. And you see Partain Road, and you see the outlined in blue on the left-hand side. Okay. Unfortunately, the other one is put sideways, so it's harder to see, but you see it. Okay. The executive summaries of the applicant's request to rezone all of 1.02 acres of property identified as parcel 049081002, located on Partain Road from rural residential to highway business. This will allow the applicant to have the proper zoning for the established business already located on the property. All right. The recommendation from the staff is that there's approval for highway business with the condition that no additional storage units may be placed on the property without proper buffers and setback lines. Okay. In addition to this memo, I hereby incorporate the entirety of my office's files and the video recording of the Planning Commission's hearing, including not limited to all witnesses' testimony, in order that this information be made a part of the record and shall be available for the Board of Commissioners to review. Do you have any questions?
Wes, how long have the existing buildings been there?
As far as I can tell from the tax card, I think it's been quite a while. Do you have any more information on that, Mr. Nguyen?
I think it's around 25 years.
It's been there a while, and it was separated from the parcel to the west of it by looking at the cards and pulling the information. I determined it was pre-2005. What's that? That's all I can tell you on that.
All right. Tony, you're speaking, or?
Good afternoon, I'm John Capo,
Well,
and I'm Tony's attorney. And I'm sure that, I think most of you are familiar with the area, and if you are not, I brought some serious photos and apparently only one of you can share the set, just so you get a handle on the property. Let me give you the background of this. These storage units have been there for approximately 25 years. The property is owned by the late Grady Jordan, who passed away. This property, let me just go to the photographs first, and I'll give you the background as to why we're here. The first photograph shows the post office facility in the upper left-hand corner next to Partain Road. Highway also shows Highway 53 on the lower left-hand corner. the excise station on Highway 53, and J&J storage facilities behind the post office. The second photograph shows the post office building in the center of the photograph and the J&J storage facility behind the post office building. The third photograph shows a portion of the J&J storage facility in the upper right-hand corner. Highway 53 is at the bottom of the photograph, and the entrance to the gas company facility above Highway 53 is shown there in the lower left portion. The fourth photograph shows the post office building at the bottom and the existing J&J storage facilities of the post office building. And I'm just going to put the notes down. The late Grady Jordan owned this property, and he put the storage facilities pre-2005 on the property. And it's been there for 25 years at the least, and he was operating it. After Mr. Jordan passed, Andy Loman was appointed administrator of the estate, and Mr. Loman subsequently sold the entire tract of property, which includes the storage facilities and the residential property, and he split it off. Tony bought the storage facilities, another individual bought the residential property. When Tony wanted to do some improvements to the storage facilities, and his contractor went to the county to pull permits, and lo and behold, he was informed we can't issue permits, even though Q Public shows, and he pulled up Q Public shows that the property is zoned commercial, but the county record shows it's zoned residential. Therefore, can't do any improvements because you can't pull the permits. So basically, we're taking the position it's been grandfathered in. It's been there for over 2 decades. There are some residential properties, I imagine the parties, the residences are here in opposition, since you said there's 5 of them, but it's been there for 25 years. There's not going to be any adverse impact. It's not going to create any additional traffic, or the traffic for the people going into the storage facilities now, which is limited if you're permitted storage facilities. And it's not going to create any adverse impact on the county as far as uses of roads or schools or things of that nature. So that being the case, we just want to be able to comply with the county's regs, clear up the paperwork, mess up. One set of records shows residential. You go to Q Public, it shows the property is commercial, and it's been commercial for 25 years, it's grandfathered in. So we're asking you to recommend approval of the application so the facilities can conform with the required zoning, and we can go on with our business. And unless you have any questions, that's the situation in a nutshell.
Are all the units fully rented now?
Yes, sir.
They are.
And what's the purpose of the grading?
Yeah, we're going to build more storage units in there.
Subject to the conditions that you may, the commissioners may impose on as far as buffers and setbacks and that sort of stuff. It would be on the existing property, but that's the plan right now. But we don't want to start doing stuff without approval, of getting permits, and having more legal issues involved.
You're very wise.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. Sometimes I've been told I'm not so wise, but anyway.
I have to, I understand.
Does anybody else have any
Further questions for the applicant?
How many, it's a fairly small parcel. How many more units would you propose adding?
I would like to add 2 more buildings in there, so we will cut to a small parcel. It will be like 50 to 60 more units.
50 to 60?
Yeah, we will do 2 levels because one in the hill and one in the bottom. So we will do 2 levels.
But once again, in compliance with any restrictions you might have as far as buffers and setbacks. Anybody else have any more questions?
What kind of buffers do you anticipate putting there?
Yeah, more storage units.
No buffers.
Buffers.
Whatever you might require to comply with your restrictions, I don't think we've gotten that far as the actual plotting and planning, but obviously any buffers that would be required, that we would comply with those requirements.
Like a solid fence as opposed to a chain link?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
it's already in there.
Okay. Solid fence and then shrubbery?
We anticipate it would be shrubbery as well.
Further questions for the applicant? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Got the clock running, Nicole. Bradley Edwards. Pardon?
I'll speak for him.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I am.
Your name is?
I'm Don Edwards.
Okay, John.
I own the property around the storage units now. Here's my concern, is the driveway going up to there is just, it's an easement. It's 25-foot easement that goes up to my house, and the main entrance to the storage units is off of Partain Road. So I'd like to ask for that to be just an emergency entrance, and then the higher storage units, I mean, it's already kind of in my front yard, so I'd like at least a privacy fence. They are a chain link fence, but I'd like a privacy fence. And even coming up my driveway, my dad stayed with me, he's 80 years old. And you know, it's a fire hazard. I mean, if I was to have a fire or something, a fire truck couldn't get up the driveway because, I mean, it's got, even now as the storage units, there's a lot of cars stop and block to go through the gates and stuff. And I have a lot of pictures as well, if you'd like to see them. This privacy fence from the driveway down to 53 to block it off, to tie it all in, to keep some of the noise down because they're in there all hours of the night as well.
So your main request is a privacy fence, is that correct?
Yes, the privacy, then the main entrance to be where it is now on Partain Road, entering the storage units.
Questions? Thank you.
No.
Okay, Peggy Jordan. Nothing to say, Peggy?
I've got a lot to say, but I don't know how to put it. Oh. Yes, I was Miss Grady Jordan, but had passed away. I lived up that road. And I don't like the lights and stuff. It shines right in my bedroom. Because when my husband died, I moved to the little house across the road, right down from Don Edwards' house now. And there's just a lot of traffic. And we have children. I have 5 great-grandchildren, and I'm afraid, you know, they dash out in front of the cars. We have a lot of traffic on that road also.
So the lights have been there for,
Yeah. Not as many as they are now. It's really lit up around there. And I'd like for our little community to concentrate my people with us.
okay. Questions?
You don't want to mudslide.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Cynthia Spriggs?
What he said is right, they have been there for 25 years, and I think we had all kind of adjusted to it. But under the previous management, the gates were unlocked at about 8 in the morning, they closed about 6 at night. There was like maybe 1 or 2 security lights, there's been a lot of security lights added. The gate's been taken down, there's traffic in and out all night long now. They park up there, they leave their vehicles running, they leave their headlights on. And the security lights are so bright now, we can almost walk around our front yard without a flashlight. So we had adjusted to it being there. It's just under this ownership, we have seen these changes that wasn't really good for our neighborhood. And like she said, it's not wide enough for 2 cars to pass. Some of the people pulled up trying to get to the gate, they actually park in Partain Road because they don't know how to get in and out of the gate. So we would just like to see it kind of go back to maybe like the management was before, so it's not so intrusive to our community.
So the primary concern, I think, I heard you say, is hours of operation, right?
Yep.
And
the security lights?
and security.
Yep.
You don't want as many security lights.
I do not. Because, I mean, they're so bright now, I said, we can really walk around our yard. And they weren't like that before. So if we could just kind of backdate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Kenneth Bowles?
Yes, sir. I live at 96 Partain Road, across from the property store buildings. We have people coming in all hours from that. And I don't know if y'all know what kind of people that drives in at night at the store building. There's constantly people in and out, doors slamming, all hours from there. I really don't appreciate it. You know, I got family that I don't appreciate it.
So what do you think they're doing in there on all?
I think it's on drugs and stuff, sir. They'll be in there at 12 o'clock at night. They pull up, hit Don's driveway. They'll get out, talk to me, shut their doors and they leave. But I don't know what business they got. I don't know, you know, you pulled in a rough crowd.
Sure. Mama used to say nothing good happens after midnight.
Yeah, you got midnight there, you know what I'm saying? You're all the rough stuff.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Don, we've already heard from you.
Yes, yes.
All right.
I do have a question though, I don't know when.
Yes, sir?
I noticed he had said, mentioned something about the gas company. I didn't quite understand what the gas company is way down the road for the issue we're talking. I didn't understand that.
All right. Further questions from the board? Tony, any reaction from you or council regarding the hours of operation?
Well, I understand the issue of security lights, but this is a type of operation, you do need to have security in some shape or form. Otherwise, you're inviting an element of the population to come in there, and we know storage facilities are broken into on a regular basis. So I think Tony can address the issue of security lights by providing security, but directing the security lights away from the residences if you want to have that as a condition as well. And limiting the hours of operation, we concur that nothing happens good after midnight. So we would have no objections to limiting the hours of operation from 8 in the morning, say, to 8 at night or 9 o'clock at night. I think anybody that needs to get in there to put stuff in or to take stuff out can certainly comply with those hours of operation. And the people who are renting the facilities, it's a simple matter to give them notice when they get their monthly bill of each of the hours of operation, and you will not have access to the facility after, say, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So we have no difficulty or issues with that as well as the buffer requirements that made recommendation made on that. Unless you have any other questions.
I would like to ask some more.
It's correct.
I'm sorry. I pay for the company to put 2 of the gate in there, so whenever everything ready, the gate will be in there, they will lock and open at the time I want to. So everything is ready, whenever the gate in, it will be locked up to 8 o'clock at night, it will be locked. Yeah.
Do we have an ETA on when that gate will be in place?
Yeah.
Do we know when that gate will be in place?
Yeah, when we finish the building in there, and yeah, the gate is right there already, but not installed yet. We wait when it finish.
So there's currently no gate?
We have the gate, but we have to do by hand right now.
And this would be done remotely with, I guess, some sort of computer program, so it open automatically and close automatically.
Yeah.
Within the hours of
So
operation.
we will slide in and out.
Prior to that time, I can speak from my personal knowledge, back in the city, I would appreciate that. There were some management people that were in charge of the facility. I think Ms. Jordan can confirm that. And they were relying upon the management people to show up and open the gate. Sometimes it did at 8, sometimes it did at 7, sometimes it may not be at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And the same thing on closing the gates as well. So that can be addressed by some sort of a computer program, so the gates will lock and open automatically within the specified hours of operation. So I think that would address that issue. The tenants would know these are the hours of operation period. I don't think we aren't planning to do a keypad where you would have a code to get in, you could get in all hours of the night. The gates are going to open,
they're gonna close, and if you can't get into those hours of operation, then you're just gonna have to wait around. I met with Mr. Mullins, who's gonna do the work initially when Tony came to my office. And I think we're probably looking at a 4 to 8 week build out depending, to get all the stuff done that Tony wants to do with the landscaping, the buffer zone, and that sort of thing. Once that is done, then we can put in the gate system and have it fully functional.
So is there anything existing today to monitor the traffic of what?
Monitor the traffic?
Well, not just monitor, but allow people to come in or?
The gates are open.
So it's open full time?
Actually, the gate is locked, but who ran the storage, they have the code number to get in there.
Okay, so the gate is closed unless someone is there that has the key?
Yeah.
We're gonna change that. So it will open at a certain time and it will close at a certain time. And code access to punching up code will no longer give the tenants access to do that. And they will be notified of that.
Understood. I just want to make sure that what was actually occurring today.
Now, I can't guarantee you that the build out, obviously it depends on a lot of factors, pulling the permits, getting the permits, and then weather for all the work that needs to be done there. As Mr. Mullins indicated, the 4 to 8 week depending on weather and those sort of factors that will be involved in the doing the improvements.
Further questions from the board? John?
Yes, and then as of the gates being closed now, see there, truck, a bigger truck, not just a regular pickup, but a bigger truck, Partain Road is closed. I mean, you're sticking out in the road the way the gate is, and my driveway is closed till they get it in, then get your stuff in their storage unit, and then back out. Well, they drive in and around, but they have to stop and all to get back, so it's blocked both times.
Don, I'll ask you to speak for your group there, if the group doesn't mind. Do the concessions that you heard made tonight give you any better comfort about what's being proposed here? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure kind of what they're talking about, the gate. Where's the main interest gate? See, there's already 80, maybe approximately 80 storage units there. So it's probably 70 to 80 more, I think he's talking about buildings, so we're doubling traffic, so I just kind of wondered what they're.
Were you suggesting that there's two ways to get in here? Or just one? There's just one. Okay.
The main interest is off of Partain.
Right.
And, you know, he has one up on top that puts the driveway coming up. So it's, I'd like to ask that to be like an emergency, you know, for to come. I don't know if he's gonna, I don't know what his plan is about, if he's making it something around or whatnot. So it's just limited too much traffic on my driveway to get in and out to my house. And then,
Okay, thank you.
about the grading that's there now, I mean, the road has gotten flooded several times, mud running out in the road, and I have several pictures of that.
Yes, sir. Question with the picture.
one of the I already paid for it, someone needs to do that, so whenever it's in there, then you will.
Are they all out?
All right. Thank you for your patience while we walk through these things. Go try to get it right. All right. Having heard the requests or the further questions, we need a minute. We're crafting a motion. Patience.
It's a virtue.
It is.
He's older than a woman, never in a man. I think that's how it goes.
I'm being recorded.
Oh.
I gotta go home. I've almost been married 48 years. I don't want to interfere with that.
Congratulations. We're
45. You're supposed to know that. I'm not sure what that says. Whatever.
Well, time flies when you're having fun.
It does. I think we're about to have a motion.
I think we're very close to one. All right. I'll make a motion. I will make a motion to recommend approval of moving it to highway business with the following conditions. That no additional storage units could be placed on the property without the proper buffers and setback lines. To include a privacy fence, sliding gates for both entrances, limiting hours of operation from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., redirecting the security lights away from the homes, and making the Partain entrance the primary entrance.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion from the board? Okay. All in favor, please raise your right hand. We have unanimous.
Because my business might be excused.
You don't want to stay?
I've been married 42 years. I'm a newlywed group.
You see, I brought my wife on Valentine's Day. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
That was a good one.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, neighbors.
Call me if anything.
All right, moving right along.
Okay.
We're at RZ 190287. David Hicks. West, you have a recommendation?
Yes, this is David Hicks, 355 Lee Street, Smyrna, Georgia, 30080. Location is 28.05 acres, fronting Dry Pond Road. The rezoning is from agricultural to small agricultural, which is 5 acres. Parcel ID is 162143, 016021043. The change would be 5.01 acres lots to small agriculture. Remaining 23.04 acres will stay agricultural. Developed with single-family residence that's located on the remaining 23.04 acres. Lot sizes will be 5.1 acres, so it can apply for small ag zoning in the 28.05 acres. The road access is Dry Pond Road, and the zoning history is none that we can see back to 2005. Executive summary is the applicant requests to rezone 5.01 acres of 28.05 acres as identified as parcel 162143, and that would be from agriculture to small agriculture to develop single-family residence of 5 acres plus. Recommendation is approval for the small agricultural designation. And again, this I hereby incorporate the entirety of my office's files and the video recording of the Planning Commission's hearing, including and not limited to all the witness testimony, in order that this information be made a part of the record and shall be available for the Board of Commissioners to review.
Thank you, Wes. Ms. Hicks? You've been patiently waiting. What would you add to what has been said?
Not too much, that was great. And I concur, and hopefully everything gets approved down the road. What he said is exactly what we're trying to do.
Questions from the board? Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you. So we can move along quickly.
Thank you.
You can stay for the rest of it if you want to, or you want to.
We left the dog.
That's my dog locked up, so.
You gotta take care of, man.
Good night, y'all.
Thank
you.
All right. RZ, we're moving on west to RZ 190289, State of Douglas Gray.
All right, this is RZ 22-190289. The applicant is the estate of Douglas Gay, care of Clint Weatherby, 1386 Weatherby Road, Ball Ground, Georgia 30107. Location is 45.5 acres at 1460 Camp Dobbs Road, fronting Camp Dobbs Road and Pleasant Union Road. The rezoning is from agricultural to small ag, SA. Parcel ID is 062011. Proposed use is to split the southern portion, 30.5 acres of the parcel, into 6 5+ acre tracts. The current use is undeveloped agricultural use. The lot size, again, is 30.5 acres out of 45.5 acres. The zoning history is none back to 2005. The applicant requests a rezone of 30.5 acres identified as parcel 062011, located 1460 Camp Dobbs Road, from agricultural to small ag. This will allow the applicant to divide the property into 6 5+ acre lots for resale. The recommendation of the staff is approval for the small ag designation. And again, I hereby incorporate the entirety of my office's files and the video recording of the Planning Commission's hearing, including and not limited to all witness testimony, in order that this information be made a part of the records and shall be available for the Board of Commissioners to review.
Thank you, Wes. Is it Clint?
It is.
What would you add to what's been said?
Yeah, I think Mr. Kelly did an excellent job. It's the only thing I would add to it is the reason that we're retaining 15.5 acres basically for potential future use of the sole heir. I am the executor of the estate, and I'm the guardian ad litem for her. And she doesn't necessarily have any interest in the property. She has started PhD school, so we're trying to help fund that endeavor. And we wanted to make sure that in selling some of this property, that we divided it up, but in a way that was more fitting of the area around it. So that's why we chose to go with small ag as opposed to rural residential, which would have been like 1 to 2 acre lots. So that's all I have to say.
And all those lots served from the main road, or?
All of those lots will be able to be served directly from either Camp Dobbs or Pleasant Union. We will not have to cut any roads in, or it worked out perfectly so that the lots are all wide enough that you can cut driveways in without having to worry about easement. I think the smallest width of any of the lots was 182 feet wide, so there's more than enough room to get a drive in without having to worry about setbacks and easements. So,
And is there county water there?
there's county water off of Camp Dobbs, not off of Pleasant Union, but when we had, 2 of the lots have been perk tested, and the gentleman that perk tested those 2 lots said that he walked the others and said he didn't think he would have any issue whatsoever perking the other 4 lots. And he also added that he didn't feel like that the 4 lots that would need to be able to drill wells with 5 acres and the way the lots lay, he said he didn't think there would be any issues. He said, there's plenty of room with 5 acres to put in septic systems to be able to drill a well, dig a well, whatever the case would be.
So they'd rather choose that route, you think, than have the county extend water?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they would love to have the county extend work if that could be worked out, but at this point in the game, Cherokee County borders Lot 6 as our designation, and Lot 6 would encompass all of that border line, because the lots run this way. And so Cherokee County comes right up to that line with with water, but they don't obviously cross over because that becomes Pickens County. Pickens County runs all the way out Camp Dobbs, but doesn't turn and come down Pleasant Union. So the ability to tie on would be fairly simple. It would just be a matter of running it down the Pleasant Union side, and I think that the residents would love, as a matter of fact, I know 2 of the ones that have interest in lots, 1, 2, 3, 2. So lots 3 and 4, they both express interest in county water. So this is 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 and 2 are both pending contracts upon approval, and then 3 and 4 we have tentative offers on, and they have both expressed interest in county water if it was available.
Well, I talked to some folks, side point here, but I talked to some folks in the well drilling business. It's pretty pricey.
Yeah.
So would bode well, I think, the economics for them to pursue the county.
Absolutely. And I think that they would absolutely be interested in doing that. And we would be willing to make some concession in sales pricing to help accommodate that. Their expense of having to do that. So.
Questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that it be approved.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for everything.
You're leaving?
Yeah, I don't have an excuse.
All right. Moving along to the 4th item on the agenda, RZ 190294. We'll open up a hearing on that request.
Okay, this is RZ 22-190293. The applicant's Crossbow Farm LLC, 215 Crossbow Lane, Talking Rock, Georgia 30175. The agent is Brian Wilmore. Location is 15.47 acres at 427 Crossbow Lane. The It's a rezoning from agriculture to highway business, and that is just 0.5 acres, just to make sure. And the parcel is 033-048-003. The change is from 0.5 acres to highway business. The remaining 14.97 acres is to remain agricultural. Current land use is developed with single-family residence and 4 poultry houses located on the remaining 14.97 acres. The road access is Crossbow Lane, and the effective executive summary is the applicant requests to rezone 0.5 acres of the 16.47 acres identified as parcel 033-148-003, 427 Crossbow Lane, from agriculture to highway business. This will allow the applicant to combine the 0.5 acres with an adjoining property already zoned highway business to build mini storage facilities on the property. Again, the recommendation is approval of the highway business designation. Again, I hereby incorporate the entirety of my office's files and video recording of the Planning Commission's hearing, including and not limited to all witness testimony, in order that this information be made a part of the record and shall be available for the Board of Commissioners to review.
Thank you.
Everything's on the board there. So.
Brian?
Well, first off, I wanted to thank you guys. I know what you do is sometimes controversial and not appreciated to a lot of people in the county, but I want to thank you for what you do for us. And as far as this, we just want to square up. We have a small portion of commercial property there, and we need to add a little bit to it to accomplish what we're trying to do there. So we're like to slice off about a half acre from the adjoining piece of property and attach to it.
Storage business must be growing.
They're all full. And I didn't realize they were controversial, but maybe they are.
We have too much stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have very much storage on that end of the county, so, and that being a commercial area, there's no residential properties touching that, so I don't think there will be any issues as far as noise and lights and that sort of thing. It's already.
Are you going up?
We're just going out. I'd never even thought of going up. It's not a bad idea. I might have to reconsider.
So you say you want to table this till next month?
Well, we'll go ahead and approve it, and then we can work that out later.
Wes will be watching.
Yeah.
Hey, questions for Brian? I don't have any. There's no one has come to object to what you have.
Nobody minds it in that spot then.
Yeah. Do you have a motion? We have a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Is further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous, moving right along. Thank you. All right, we'll close that and we'll open up RZ 190294. Wes?
Yes. Again, the small agricultural designation seems to be very popular tonight. This is RZ 22190294. The applicant is 1893 LLC, 215 Crossbow Lane, Talking Rock, Georgia 30175. The agent is David Amar. The location is 55.39 acres fronting Big Ridge Road. The rezoning is from agricultural to small ag, again, the 5-acre designation. Parcels number 017-055. And the proposed use is to change 55.39 acres to small ag and to split the parcel into 7 5+ acre lots. The lot size is starting at 55.39 acres and the road access is Big Ridge Road. The recommendation is to approve the small ag designation. And I hereby incorporate the entirety of my office's file and the video recording of the Planning Commission's hearing, including but not limited to all witness testimony, in order that this information be made a part of the record and shall become available for the Board of Commissioners to review.
Is water available to the site?
There is some water on Big Ridge Road. If you check to see the availability for your lots,
Yes, it runs all the way out.
all the way out.
Yeah, it's all along the,
There's an email from the water department in your packet concerning that.
So you plan to use county water?
right.
And what about the roads coming into, is everything on the front on the?
We have a lot of road frontage, and we haven't got the surveys done yet, but the smallest lot that we proposed was gonna have somewhere around 150 feet of frontage, I believe it was. You can see the kind of the split up there, but I don't see there being any challenges as far as road access. And then the smallest lot on small ag is 5 acres up, and then we're looking at probably about 12 acres, our largest tract there. So I really don't, I mean, as far as, density, I think that's really good. I personally don't like small lots. So I think this is the perfect layout for this property.
So the road's gonna have to be cut in there to serve it, or is everybody?
There's already several logging roads there, and I've actually been cleaning those out a little bit at a time. But there will be some driveways cut in, but no roads, just driveways, right off of the main road.
You wanna add anything else to what Wes has done?
Just basically, like we said, I can't see a more perfect use of that property. Currently it's an agricultural property, so you could build a chicken farm or a hog farm on it, but I think it's in that area with all the other houses around, I think it'd be perfect to split up into house lots. And then it'll allow people the flexibility to put a garden in or raise some chickens or whatever they want to do for their own sustenance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ashley Burnett?
Yes.
You wanted to speak?
Yes, I don't know if y'all want to see, but I'll probably end up speaking for the whole group. I did meet you once.
Yeah, I met you the other day.
Yes, we live, across the street. We have quite a bit of acreage. A few families do. Quite a few issues, really, and it's nothing against you. Because from what I know, you're a really nice man, but there's a reason why we're where we're at. Our property is, I mean, it's not like Pickens Camp. I mean, it's not like Jasper. It's quiet. It's
Where are you relative to the?
we're literally across the street, on the other side. Right there at the end, we're 3608, so we're towards the end of it, right there. We own a little over 100 acres throughout the family. I grew up in those woods. I played in them as a child, so seeing it just turn into a bunch of houses is a little upsetting to me, and to quite a few folks in the area. We do have water that comes out, because we had to switch over from our water to the county, but I don't know if that's gonna affect the water, because we're a little worried about like that many houses out there. I don't know if that's gonna affect the county water or not, because that area is it's not very many people. The traffic's gonna be an issue. My main concern really wasn't, I'm actually not opposed to houses because you're gonna do bigger lots. But there's a lot of wildlife over there, quite a bit of wildlife over there. And where are they gonna go? I'm a little upset and worried about that. I know for a fact there's at least one den of a bobcat that lives over there that has been over there for quite some time. A lot of deer. Couple bears, but I'm just concerned because we live in a quiet place, and most of the people around us, that's the reason why we live where we do. I've been there since I was 5, so seeing it blow up to 7 houses, 7, 8 houses, that's kind of a lot. It's literally across the street. It will be my view. So, I don't know if y'all want to say anything, but that was my concern.
Well said, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Okay. We have a motion.
I'm sorry, can I say something?
I didn't have you listed.
Well, Big Ridge Road itself,
Yeah.
handling the traffic. I live on Big Ridge, 2989, which is adjacent to this property or whatever. And already got the Blacktop Fall, or Poppin' Rock estates that's using our road to come to town. We've got another subdivision, my understanding, that's going on the left-hand side of the road across from me, that's going to run all the way through to Carnes Mill. And we're just a little 24-foot highway going down Big Ridge. And we got agricultural farm, I've got cattle, John Tatum's got cattle, we've got farm equipment on the road all the time. Or are they gonna do anything, you gonna do anything to upgrade the road?
Well, it's only 7 houses, so it shouldn't have that much traffic, I hope.
Okay, thank you. You have a motion.
So we can have a vote. I will make a motion that it be accepted, but I can't vote. I'll have to abstain because I have relatives adjoining this.
Thank you.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I don't think you can make a
Can't.
motion if you need to.
Okay, then I will withdraw it
Okay.
then. I'll withdraw it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. 3, and we have 1 abstention. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you all for your. All right, we'll close that hearing. And we'll move on to RZ 190295.
Apologize. Okay, are we ready for the next one? This is RZ 22-190294. The applicant is Lee Riddle. It's 4101 Waleska Highway 108, Jasper, Georgia 30143. Location is 4101 Waleska Highway 108, Jasper. And the request is from rural residential to ag, to combine his 1 acre tract with the adjoining agricultural tract that Mr. Riddle owns. The lot size is 1.01 acres. The road access is Highway 108. The applicant requests to rezone a total of 1.1 acres from rural residential to ag. Parcel number is 064094001. The applicant is requesting this to change for the purpose of combining with adjoining property that he owns as agricultural. Again, after researching, the recommendation is approval for the ag designation, parcel number 064094001. In addition, I hereby incorporate the entirety of my office's files and the video recording of the planning commission's hearing, including but not limited to all witness testimony, in order that this information be made a part of the record and shall be available for the Board of Commissioners to review.
Thank you, Wes. Mr. Riddle?
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
It's fun.
Did you have anything to add to what we heard?
I don't.
So you're going to expand wildlife?
We have farm,
Yeah.
and we can't put animals in rural residential, certain numbers. So we just figured let's make Pickens more farm-like.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Move the application be approved.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Thank you.
We'll close that hearing and move on to the final. We'll open up the hearing on RZ 190310. Wes?
Right, this one is RZ 22190310. The applicant is Nicholas Michael Riggin, 300 Shady Grove Church Road, Talking Rock, Georgia 30175. Location is 24.57 acres at 300 Shady Grove Church Road. The rezoning request is from rural residential to ag. Parcel ID is 014005003. The use of the property is as farming purposes, and it's undeveloped rural residential use. Lot size is 24.57 acres, and the access is Shady Grove Church Road. The zoning history is none since 2005. Again, it's the rezone 24.57 acres identified as parcel 014005003 from rural residential to ag. This will allow the applicant to use the property as farming land. And the recommendation of the office is approval from ag to agricultural designation. Again, I hereby incorporate the entirety of my office's files and the video recording of the Planning Commission's hearing, including not limited to all witness testimony, in order that this information be a part of the record and shall be available for the Board of Commissioners to review.
Thank you, Wes. Mr. Riggin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your patience.
Of course.
What would you add to what we've heard?
That's a very succinct to the point, I guess, synopsis of what we want to do.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go in much more detail of what we want to do, but if we get to that point, we'll be happy to share.
Well, we'd like to hear it. Tell us what your master plan is.
Okay. Well, my wife and I, we quit our careers because we were both miserable and decided that we wanted to live a simpler life. So we purchased this land with the intent to raise animals and grow things. She primarily is the gardener. She likes to grow flowers and lots of heirloom vegetables and fruits. And I have always loved animals and would like to be able to provide healthy meat for the local community that's been raised in a way that it's unlike conventional farms where animals are actually living on pasture and happy lives. They're given more space than what you would traditionally find in your typical supermarket product.
Very good. An ambitious goal.
Yeah.
Have you been a farmer before?
She has some very small scale experience. I went to culinary school. Food has always been my passion since I was a young child. And what better way to provide amazing food for your family and your community than to raise it yourself?
Well, good for you. Questions from the board?
Did you want to comment on that?
Pardon?
Did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, we have,
There was a person who was unavailable to be here. and
Yeah,
wanted to make a comment.
Denise just said that she was in favor, but couldn't attend, but she wanted to.
And I'm here.
Oh.
Well, I'm not Denise, but I'm a landowner
Okay.
as well.
You're still
Sorry,
happy,
I-
you're still happy about your new neighbors?
Pardon me?
You're still happy about your new neighbors?
Oh, yes, as long as there's not chicken houses going up, since it's already, there's already commercial, you already have commercial operation out of there, it's completely fine, just as long as we don't have, I do not know the proper verbiage, but the chicken houses,
No.
long chicken houses to
No.
sell to,
No.
Okay.
You wouldn't mind a dozen chickens, you just don't want.
We just don't want a ton of them.
Understandable.
You know,
We could
local
not
community.
handle
Right.
that
Yeah, it's a
many.
two-person operation.
We're a veteran-owned farm, we're very small, we don't want anything large scale, just.
But should it progress to that point, would that be a possibility, being zoned agricultural, that there might come a time where you can have 4 or 5 rows of the
We would never
500
put,
foot chicken
the
house?
only structures we have a small 5x8 coop for our chickens right now.
Okay.
That's the only structure for the chickens, and we don't plan on doing anything beyond that.
Okay, you'd like to sell to Tyson or?
No. We're so,
Okay.
We want to do everything the opposite of the way that
Okay,
they
Yeah.
do.
that's what it sounds like. I
yeah,
just wanted to
direct
make
to
sure.
consumer. We want people to have like full transparency. Like we want people to see where their food comes from and be happy that we're raising the animals in a way that we are, so that they feel good about making that purchase. Because I know a lot of vegetarians and vegans are that way because they've seen how
Right.
commercial farms are, and we want to dissuade that and encourage people to eat more meat because it is good when it is ethically raised.
So we don't have to worry about 1,000 chickens running around?
Never. We will never have 1,000 animals on our property unless they're like bugs. You know,
Just checking.
Maybe
That's
you
all.
can get a couple of eggs every now and then.
That I would do. I
We
can't.
have more than enough eggs.
Yeah, we can't legally
Yeah,
sell them
just-
right now, but we,
But if
You
you'd
give
like
them-
to come
you can give them
and
away.
have
Absolutely.
some, as a neighbor, yes, we are allowed to do that.
So a quick story, I was up in Clayton, Georgia earlier this morning, and at a friend of mine's place who has chickens, and I helped him with an issue that he had. And I have 3 dozen eggs in my car right now. And my wife, I called my wife to tell her, got these 3 dozen eggs, and I'm gonna bring them home, and she said, I just bought 2 dozen eggs.
And you have 5.
I'm having eggs tomorrow.
For a while.
It's Easter. It is. It is. Further questions? All right, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
And a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor? Right hand, thank you, unanimous. Good luck.
thank you very much.
And I wish you all the. I really do.
So that concludes that part of the meeting. We're now on to board comments, and let me just say, I think, Wes, congratulations are in order. I notice that you're not interim anymore, you are official. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We enjoy your careful study of issues and bringing them before us, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. And I want to say that we do look at these things very carefully. And as I've discussed before, if it doesn't look favorable, we don't encourage them to go forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just that, you know, we're looking to see what fits the area also. So I hope that we at least look at all the aspects that go with that, and with the new tools that we have up here, you will be able to see what we have also.
Very good, thank you. One of our board members, Rodney Buckingham, who served for a short period of time, has resigned. He had other opportunities available to him that were more lucrative than sitting here with us.
Imagine that.
So we thank Rodney for his service and hope he does well. Further comments from the board? Comments from the public at large?
You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. We appreciate everybody's good humor tonight. We got through this, some controversy. We reached some, not everybody's totally happy, but we got there. We got there as best we could. So thank you for your participation and attendance. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to, is there a second?
Second.
A little delayed. All in favor?
Oh, my God.
We're adjourned. Thank you.